Hello comic book fans, this is your host Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch, and I am back for another episode of Duck Punch Comics. This one's a little early just because scheduling stuff is weird, but I also have a shorter list of books this week, not very much in the DC way, more on that in a second. So yeah, here we go, 8 books, a lot of Marvel, so let's get going. Up first, Annihilators, number 2. Now, as a tried and true disciple of the Church of Marvel Cosmicology, you had to know I was going to get this, especially with it being 2 stories in one. Okay, the actual Annihilator story was pretty good, if a little by the numbers. Ronin stole the show, easily. My biggest complaint about their part of the comic was that unless you really knew the story of Rom's Space Knight, you were going to be lost as hell reading a lot of this. Granted, Marvel Cosmic has always tended toward the established fan base as opposed to generating new fans, but this issue felt really heavy in that direction. As for the Rocket, Raccoon, and Groot story, that was just awesome. I mean, that was just sheer 100% win on an epic scale. Just great stuff. Next up, Brightest Day number 23. Okay, warning up front. Here there be spoilers. Prepare yourself. Get ready for them. If you haven't read this yet, and you haven't heard the big reveal of this issue, then just skip a few seconds and save yourself some anguish. Okay, here we go. Brightest Day number 23. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Swamp Thing is the chosen one. What the hell is that about? I have not been this pissed at a comic in a really long time. I mean, I actually had to get up from my chair and walk around the block to cool off after reading this. This just came out of nowhere. Just apparently Jeff Johns decided, hey, you know who would be cool to bring back? Swamp Thing. What the I mean, what? This was an absolute pile of trash. This was worthless. A terrible book. Absolutely just pissed me right off. Ugh. Okay. Moving on. Fear Itself number 1. Okay, I decided to bite the bullet. This is the first issue of Marvel's big event for 2011, and it was a mixed bag, but a lot of it wasn't very good. On the one hand, Stuart Immonen is just gorgeous on art, as always. I liked that the Avengers are having to deal with the problem with an aspect of intangibility as opposed to some sort of ultra super awesome invasion of alien demons of doom or some other kind of crap. I also like the fact that Fraction gave each of the Avengers, at least the ones that got any serious face time anyway, their own distinct voices. On the other hand, I suspected, and was proven right, that my dropping of Thor due to Fraction's horrible handling of that title meant that there were several things that I'm in the dark about. Like why Odin is apparently a grade A jackass to his son. Or why the World Tree is sitting in the center of Asgard. Or how Asgard can be in Broxton, Oklahoma, and yet the gods can leave it to go to Asgard. Whatever. All of that kind of irritates me. But what really bugs me is that the big reveal is just kind of thrown out there without any warning or explanation. It's just sort of there. It was like slapped on a page and we're just supposed to deal with it. I might pick up number 2, but there has to be some serious ground covered or I'll be out for the duration. Next, Herc number 1. I never really followed the Incredible Hercules series or Chaos War or any of that whole shtick. But I picked this up because it seemed like a good jumping on point and because some of my buddies at the Outhouse, random plug guys, were talking it up. I kind of liked it, but not enough to get really excited about it. Issue number 2 is definitely going to be on my buy list, though. Next up, Heroes for Hire number 5. Hot diggity dog! This was great. Abnett and Lanning really are everything people make them out to be. Seriously, believe the hype. This came very close to being my pick of the week. That's coming in a minute. The story was wonderfully brought to a conclusion, and the characters all seemed to make strides toward genuine growth. Great, great, great stuff. Next up, Irredeemable, number 24. This was a solid issue, but nothing too special. Still, after 2 years, I'm still liking this. It's still fun. Nothing it's getting me off the book. Next up, Secret 6, number 32. Neat. Very well done, Miss Simone. I really can't wait to see where this goes. See where things go from here, and how our happy band of ne'er-do-wells gets out of this. But anywho, just seeing the way that the whole group struggles with the reality of just how really just unredeemable they are, and that, yes, Virginia, they're going to go to hell when they die. It was just really class act storytelling. I'm really interested to see what changes when they get back to the world of the living, play out. How they deal with some of the things they're learning. Last up, Uncanny X-Men number 534.1. I saved the best for last. Okay, I am so excited, as you might have guessed, that Kieran Gillen is flying solo on this title, and that Matt Fraction is off screwing up the rest of the Marvel Universe with Fear itself. Seriously, though, this was just awesome. Kieran Gillen's Magneto is perfect. He strikes a balance between being truly reformed as a member of the X-Men and being the same old Magneto from the bad old days. Gillen doesn't gussy him up by saying that he was just misunderstood, or that he really wasn't a bad guy. But he does effectively move Magneto past a lot of those events by using Karen Kildare, who's a superhero publicist. You may remember her from the Authority, I forget what it was called, but one of the Initiative tie-ins, doesn't really matter. Using her as a foil. It should also be noted that Namor is absolutely hysterical in this issue. I actually woke other people in the house up laughing at his monologue. I have been looking forward to this run, and I am very satisfied with the first issue. So there you go, guys. That's 8 books in just a few minutes. I know it was kind of rushed, just the way it worked out this time. I might be back tomorrow for a quick show, just some random thoughts, things about some of the big news of the week, most especially the announcement of the Eisner Awards was announced, I think Friday, was it Friday or Saturday? Can't remember, but I have a very strong opinion on that. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now, so we'll see, but if not, then there you go, folks. Have a good afternoon.